My name is Amanda Miller, and this is my BADM 7070 presentation on how social media is a distraction that has a detrimental impact on relationships. Although most of us feel like we couldn't live without our mobile phones, they've not really been in existence for very long. Mobile phones, particularly the smartphones that have become our inseparable companions today, are relatively new and have only been around in the last 20 years. In 1998, the first downloadable content sold to mobile phones was the ringtone launched by a Finnish company, Radiolina. I loved that I could download a ringtone for each person calling so that the instant the phone rang, I could identify the caller and decide whether or not I wanted to answer the call. 1999 saw the unveiling of the first BlackBerry. Famous for its super easy email service, BlackBerry handsets were seen as the ultimate business tool, allowing users to read and respond to emails from anywhere. This led to 83% of users reading and responding to work emails while on holiday, and over half admitted to sending emails on the toilet. In 2002, Motorola unveiled its first 3G phone, and in 2003, the 3G standard started to be adopted worldwide, kicking off the age of mobile internet and paving way for the rise of smartphones and social media. The iPhone debuted in 2007, and in 2008, the first Android phone came out, the T-Mobile G1. Both of these are a long way from the smartphones we use today. The earliest forms of the internet, such as CompuServe, were developed in the 1960s. Primitive forms of email were also developed during this time. Technology continued to improve, and by the 1980s, home computers were becoming more common and social media was becoming more sophisticated. The first recognizable social media site, 6 Degrees, was created in 1997. It enabled users to upload a profile and make friends with other users. In 1999, the first blogging sites became popular, creating a social media sensation that is still popular today. Sites like MySpace and LinkedIn gained prominence in the early 2000s, and sites like PhotoBucket and Flickr facilitated online photo sharing. YouTube came out in 2005, creating an entirely new way for people to communicate and share with each other across great distances. By 2006, Facebook and Twitter both became available to users throughout the world. These sites remain some of the most popular social networks on the internet. Other sites like Tumblr, Spotify, Foursquare, and Pinterest began popping up to fill specific social networking niches. In 2009, WhatsApp launched, letting customers send and receive calls and messages via the internet. The messaging system now has 1.2 billion users, sending more than 10 billion messages a day, which makes it 50% more popular than traditional texting. 2010, Instagram launched as a simple, fun, and creative way to capture, edit, and share photos, videos, and messages with friends and family. As you can see, today there is a tremendous variety of social networking sites. How would we even live without social media? In a world where our phones are the first and last thing we see every morning and night, it's no wonder social media can affect our relationships, both online and offline. Communication expert and author Leslie Shore explains, research shows that on average we spend 2 or more hours a day on social media. She warns that fostering relationships online can hurt our relationships offline, and they can also make us less able to communicate. So, how does social media impact relationships? Clarissa Silva, a scientist and relationship expert, says that 60% of people using social media reported that it impacted their self-esteem in a negative way, 50% reported social media having negative effects on their relationships, and 80% reported it is easier to deceive others through their social posting. We are constantly tied to our phones. Do you walk down the street checking work emails or news alerts? How many times have you bumped into someone because you had your head buried in your phone? I have to admit that this has happened to me more times than I would like to say. Do you stand or wait in line scrolling through Instagram or checking status updates on Facebook rather than engage in a conversation with the person you are with or a friendly stranger next to you? Have you ever texted someone sitting next to you on the couch or in the same or next room rather than speaking to them personally? Have you ever had a movie interrupted because someone answered their cell phone or was checking text messages or social media sites? What about attending concerts? These days, more people are filming and posting the concert than actually watching and enjoying it. I recently attended the Mary Chapin Carpenter concert at a small local venue in Houston. As an artist, she requested no cell phone usage during the performance. It was amazing how much more attentive and responsive the audience was because they weren't tethered to their cell phones. Last night, I went to another concert and there was a lot of cell phone usage. I myself am to blame for videoing and posting during the concert. I witnessed an interaction in the row in front of me. There was a mother and father with their 2 teenage daughters. One of the daughters continued to get on her phone to text. Her mother advised her that if she got on the phone one more time, she would take the phone away, and the daughter just begged for 30 more seconds. Even then, the teenage girl couldn't resist, and the mother finally snatched the phone and put it in her purse so the girl could enjoy the concert. Text messages, instant messages, direct messages, and emails can be easily misconstrued and misinterpreted. Cowards are brave on social media, which is why cyberbullying and internet trolls exist, and people do and say things that they would never say in a face-to-face encounter. As our social media networks continue to grow, the experts also recommend being mindful of people's beliefs and values. Remember who your friends are. Before sharing your thoughts on politics or religion, or posting something provocative or controversial, keep in mind who your audience is. Is it worth creating tension with your family, friends, or coworkers? Or the stress of a Twitter war or a Facebook feud? Social media has been linked to higher levels of loneliness, envy, anxiety, depression, narcissism, and decreased social skills. Sometimes it appears everyone you know is in a great relationship, taking a 5-star vacation and living their dream life. Since we're only getting people's highlight reels and comparing it to ourselves, it's natural to have reactions to what we're watching. We seek validation through likes, not life. We compare ourselves to others and seem willing to share only things that get positive reinforcement. If we compare ourselves to someone else's profile, aren't we discounting ourselves? Many people are interfacing more digitally than physically, but human beings are social creatures. We thrive on, and in fact need, social interactions to maintain a healthy life and mind. Social media sites and apps offer some valuable opportunities. They provide a platform to meet new people and make friends. They allow users to join groups of others who share their passions and interests. They're generally free. There are specialized forums and platforms that provide a large network to potentially find a new job. Networks like Twitter have become a valuable way to get fast, real-time news on a situation. And they allow people to interact in online communities to share thoughts, stay in touch, and upload photos. While the overuse of social media can have negative effects on relationships, it has been instrumental in connecting people in ways that could not have been anticipated. I am certainly not advocating that there should be no internet or social media platforms. Without an internet dating site, I wouldn't have met my fiance, been able to reconnect with so many friends from college and law school who live across the country and the world, see photos of my nieces and nephew and granddaughters who live in different countries and cities, and be able to FaceTime with them when events happen, like my goddaughter's spring school concert that was recently streamed live from England. But it is imperative that we learn to balance social media and offline time with our loved ones. Enjoy the benefits of social media, but don't forget to pick up the phone and call a beloved family member or friend. Take the time to call someone instead of text them back. Actually watch the concert. Life is short. Don't waste it in front of a tiny screen that can't give you a hug or tell you it loves you. Nurture the relationships in your life by being present and active and not just via social media, or it will negatively impact your life and your relationships. Thank you for your attention and time during this presentation. I want to leave you with one question. Did you look at your phone or any social media sites at any time during this presentation?